I've waited over 6 months for a smart blender to come back in stock, and I think I ordered the wrong one, and perhaps I should have seen the warning signs when the related purchases when I bought it were ballpoint pens. Yes, in this box is the Xiaomi, I hope I pronounced that right, Blender Pro. Remember that? Pro. You know, for £65, it's quite a bargain. This is everything you get in the box. It's quite minimalistic, but you've got a measurer. You've got this crazy looking cleaning brush thing, which would double up as an amazing toothbrush. A couple of manuals, which are like really minimalistic. I think it's about 20% English, like most things. You've got the main jug thing here, and it's really good quality. Oh, and the lid is kind of the same with this sort of like rubber bung around it, where you can actually twist a bit off, and you've got like a vented cap as well. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, that goes there. For peace of mind, it is actually a UK plug. And this is the smart thing about it. This is your base. It's got this little connect thing right here. So as long as you line that up, it is pretty much ready to go. And actually, one other thing that I really do like about it, and I've never seen this in a blender before, is at the bottom there, that base, this doesn't come off. So that's why you've probably got this crazy brush thing. But that base is ceramic. It's like proper non-stick. It's really good quality. So the Xiaomi is from a larger website called me.com. I am skeptical though when reviews on websites are always 5-star. There's only 3 for the Pro. But let's just take John Deveron's best blender I've ever owned. More functions than I'll ever use, and it's very quiet too. Another quality product from the best Chinese tech company on the planet. More functions than I will ever use. I think he might be reviewing the wrong blender, because these are literally the modes it does. And when I say that, I literally mean it, okay? You can schedule it, but we won't do that. So if you wanted to go to bed and, I don't know, make a smoothie or whatever, you can clean it. We will do that. Apparently there's a cold clean and a hot clean. We'll probably do the hot one. You've got your start, stop, cancel button, and then you've got your modes. And you can actually see them. They're all lit up. It's currently flashing rice paste, smoothies, juice, milkshake, soup, and soy milk. Now the best way to look at this is the top ones here, they are cold, and the bottom 3 are heat. Yeah, there is indeed a warming plate to actually warm it. This is why it's a smart blender. It's supposed to do hot and cold. I was so excited about this. But literally, that functionality you see there is it. And I'm not even joking. Yes, so it turns out the functionality that it raves about on the website, it can do all these different things. No, literally, if you can imagine a machine that just has 6 presets, which is absolutely fine if you just want to make rice paste for the rest of your life, but that isn't exactly that smart. And this is where it confuses me, because I've got the Blender Pro, right? So when you buy a Pro, you think, yeah, I've got the next step up. You know, it's the one with the more advanced features. Oh no, for £10 more, there's the Blender. Like this one doesn't even have a manual mode. That one's got manual, hot and cold. It's got Wi-Fi. You can do jam in it. It even works with their app. Don't worry, it's on the way. And by the end of this video, you will be seeing it. But I honestly do feel a little bit sorry for this smart blender that turns out isn't as smart. So yeah, let's try cleaning it. All right, I just did the very exciting step of filling up the jug with water for the clean mode. Okay, so if we just press clean, it's just gonna do a cold clean. High temperature sterilization cleaning can be initiated by pressing and holding the clean button for 3 seconds. Okay, 1, 2, 3. What are you doing? Oh gosh, it's got, 25 minutes. Forgot about the lid. That water was nice and cold, so I assume it's going to warm it up. I'll let you know. Oh, and now it's literally stopped. All right, my jug is clean. And one interesting safety feature I've just spotted. Look, when it's like this, it can't work because the lid, once I push this, look, here we go. See? It actually will only work when the lid is on properly. Right, let's skim through these 6 presets, starting with juice. All right, so the juice mode, and I have a theory about this, but anyhow, kiwi is going in. And you're thinking juice, I don't know, is there gonna be like some sort of water in there? Oh no, milk and a squeeze of honey. Oh, there's a spelling mistake in this manual. It says 40 grams of kiwi and 30 mils of milk. I just had to check that, and online it's 400 grams of fruit and 300 milliliters of milk. Okay, that's way better ratios. More kiwi fruit and more milk. Okay, so juice is just literally 2 minutes. So 2 minutes, if you want to use it manually like a blender, you would just have to keep using the juice 2-minute section to, well, blend. And you can always press the cancel button and keep doing it, but that's probably the best you've got of it being, well, a blender. Here it is. Ooh, it's foamy. That does not look like juice to me. I don't mind kiwi. Oh gosh, that's horrible. Oh, definitely needs some more honey. Well, from something that looks like a milkshake to, well, the milkshake mode. My milkshake brings all the smart blenders to the yard. Well, let's find out if this is any good. And it's 2 minutes again. All right, and we're going mango. Love mango. A mango milkshake sounds awesome. All right, it says 5 ice cubes, but I'm gonna go for about 6. Gonna live dangerously. So milkshake, you'd think, well, we've done milk in our juice. No, we're using yogurt. A plain yogurt, although flavored would probably enhance it, but this is looking all right. And then finally, what else goes well with milkshake? Water. 120 milliliters of water. Lid on. Oh, that does bite really well. Come on. Are you gonna whiz? Okay, that was a tease. We need to do some whizzing, guys. We've got 2 minutes here. What's going on? Hello? Okay. All right, I've got to be honest, that color has turned out fantastic. No crazy noises. I've got my skull glass. Oh, there was a lump there. I don't know what that was. Ooh, that's tastier than the kiwi, 100%. Yep, that is not a milkshake. The juice tasted more like a milkshake than that did. That is a very nice tasting mango yogurt though. So we've done the juice, we've done the milkshake, there's one final cold setting, smoothie. Let's give that a try, and will it be 2 minutes? All right, so we're actually gonna do a mango, pineapple, and passion fruit smoothie. Banana going in first, Smoothie Town. This is just a big old pot of that. And this is some ice that I weighed out. And most of it's in there, right? 250 grams of ice. Lid goes on and, oh, it really does bite it well. So as we saw, juice, a milkshake with 2 minutes. For some reason, the smoothie mode is 45 minutes. Oh no, seconds. So there's your blender mode. Trying to keep this interesting with a variety of glasses. Oh, look at this. All of the ice is whizzed up there as well. I could hear it rattling around. I was thinking maybe that is a little bit too confident. 2 minutes might have been better for this. Well, that looks, wow. Yeah, well, that looks like a smoothie. I don't normally drink a smoothie out of a glass like this, but let's go with it. Woo! Yeah, that's cold, bit of brain freeze. That has definitely worked, and also created a solution where if you had this machine, you could just use that mode as your quick blender setting. Those are the 3 cold settings done, tested in the bag, and you gotta be honest, they are quite similar modes, but as a simple blender, it could get you by for other things. Now, the more interesting thing are the 3 hot modes, and it's this first one that made me realize that the Pro wasn't quite the Pro one that I was hoping to get. Yes, we're gonna make soup, and it is gonna take about 28 minutes. I can now see the 45 display was just massive, so hence 45 seconds. So this is a potato and mushroom soup, and it hasn't told me to chop up the potatoes, but I feel like I want to help it. Bit of salt and some cashew nuts, bless you, and some mushrooms. I think that's peak dad joke when someone says cashew and you go bless you. Oh my gosh, bless you. And now we fill it up to 1 litre with water. 28 minutes, let's get the soup going, please. Right, so it does that little tease first of all, just to suss it out. Gonna do anything, or? Oh, it's starting to warm up. Okay, cool, we'll leave it to it. All right, take a look at this, about 6 minutes left, and every now and then, it's been just doing a little spin like that, maybe just to sort of randomize it up a bit. It's warm, the potatoes are starting to get a little soft around the edges. Oh, it seems to be really pushing the heat now, actually. That's the first time it's looked like it might be close to boiling. Yeah, my gut feeling now is it's gonna get to like a minute or 2 left and it's just gonna obliterate it all into one sort of big thick mess. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so basically this, oh my gosh, that looks horrendous. Look at that. Basically the service suggestion is, do you want your soup thick, thin? Basically have it how it comes. All right, and here we go. A nice thick, oh well that is thick. Yeah, it's all in there blended. There's nothing hanging around at the bottom. Potato and mushroom soup. Oh, sorry, that just needs a little bit of pepper just to make it look a little bit exciting. I actually think this is gonna be quite nice. Oh my gosh, it's hot. Whoa! Well, it definitely warms it up. Yeah, that is really, really nice. So how I found out the Pro wasn't the model I actually wanted, it was when I was actually trying to get a bigger version of that instruction manual online. I started reading it and that's where I saw jam, and that doesn't do jam. And then I saw the option for soup or thick soup, which as you've seen, this is just done well. Is that a thick soup or a thin soup? I'm going thin. Hot. Whoa. But of course this model is stuck with those presets that are slightly regionalized, which might even showcase now with this setting. So perhaps this machine isn't too bad, it's kind of lost in translation. These are some soya beans. That was quite cool. Soy milk setting, 38 minutes. Oh, that's cool. Like, just that alone was kind of worth the price, right? It's getting murkier. It reminds me of the time that I had pet fish, but from time to time, there's the odd soybean going up to the top. It's like a budget lava lamp. Oh, that looks different, doesn't it? It's getting angry now. Yeah, so this is nice and done. I was thinking I might have to filter it, but I think I'm gonna risk it. I don't think I've ever had soy milk. Oh, wow, look how smooth that is. Wow. Actually, on the channel before, I've done a video called Can You Milk a Nut? That's like a creamy garden gnome. Yeah. Because I wasn't sure how like almond milk and that was made. I actually found that quite interesting. We have a lot of oat milk in the house with Chloe being dairy intolerant. Ooh, God, that's actually quite nice. A slight chalky texture to it slightly, but that's, I really like that. Oh my word. So before we have a little bit of fun with it, trying something that isn't a preset, we do the final one, which you might have spotted already, and it's a little bit quirky indeed. Right, I know what some of you might be thinking. Rice paste, what the heck is that? And this kind of goes back to that lost in translation thing again. Rice paste, the best way of thinking about it, I think, is kind of like more like a porridge kind of vibe. Because it's rice paste that also uses pumpkin and millet, so it's kind of like pumpkin porridge. Millet is this tiny grain that is really popular in Asia, but you can get it quite common in the UK. I've actually never used it, but apparently there are some other whole grain alternatives such as barley or quinoa, but hey, let's give it a go. All right, so it says a litre of water, in goes the millet. Oh wow, look. And to be fair, based on that soy milk alone, if you mastered the timings of it, like you could definitely do the other things like I say. It's just those presets are locked in. That was some rice, and then this is pumpkin. My friend's got a dog called Pumpkin. Quite weird for me to say that as I put something into a blender. All right, rice paste, 35 minutes. Whoa, seems to be a lot of fluid in there as well, so let's see what that turns out like. It's warming up, and although it does look like slightly confused carrot juice right now, I'm hoping it thickens because I'm actually quite excited to try this. I'll just try and catch it. You can see here where it's cooked here, and I think it's getting a slight bit thicker. Of course, it's not blended it up yet. I assume that's what it's gonna do. There you go, look. This looks like a little polystyrene packaging. Here we go then, folks. So one thing I will say, there are some massive portions. I'm not sure about the consistency of this. I would expect it to be a little thicker, but yeah, thanks to the preset, that is pumpkin rice paste. Okay, I want to have a little bit of fun, and just while this cools down, if I could make anything with it. Okay, it's about 500 milliliters of milk there. I love the idea of making homemade hot chocolate in it, and this is some chocolate orange. So I'm not gonna help it too much. I'm just gonna chuck in the chunks. Just gonna add about 100 milliliters of water as well, just to try and prevent purely the milk on its own scorching. So I've just put it on the soup mode, which was the shortest time that had the heat and the blend. I just wanted to see if there's just some way that we could bodge something manually. It's warming up already, and you can see traces of the chocolate just on the surface already in the first minute. All we need is a couple of little spins like that, and it should stir it for us. Look, see, it's doing it. We've got this little skin of chocolate. Oh, that might actually be it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, this has cooled down a little bit. Oh, it's got a bit of a skin on it. Oh gosh, suddenly I don't want to try it. Yeah, there's chunks of the rice and the millet still in it. It's definitely blended it up. Oh, what is that? That is awful. Oh, someone did say on my rice cooker video recently that I should add salt to my porridge. I've never done that. I consider this something similar. Although I should be putting MSG in.
This is what MSG can do to you.
Lifted it, but God, that's bland. Wow, it just tastes of wet rice. And imagine if there's some like roasted vegetables in there or something to really, not you, pad the flavour out, then maybe. Why do I get the vision that they'll sometimes have a century egg in that? And I actually don't mind a century egg, I think they're all right. But not today, and I think this we'll have right now. I have to say, this smells amazing, like proper chocolate orange vibes going on, and it has completely melted all of that chocolate. There's nothing lurking around. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, that's worked amazingly. Do you know who I'm disappointed the most out of this machine? Not the Pro, John. John, the random person that gave this 5 stars with all the functions. How quiet it was. It's noisy. Cheers, John. Yeah, it's loud, isn't it? But I kind of like you, mate. So the superior model that is not the Pro, just the Blender, is on its way. I will see you in a couple of days where we'll just test maybe the soup again, see if we can get it chunky, maybe make some jam, and just show you, hopefully, just as an overview, how much better, sorry mate, and maybe how versatile. I mean, I'm saying all this now, oh my gosh. We'll find out in a few days. See you then. All right, here we are. It has arrived and it's looking quite similar. We've got our little measurer. We've got like a slightly more funky looking brush that's got like a tiny Mohican. The instruction manual, which is pretty much identical other than the interface. It's got a plunger. The base is very similar, it's just got slightly different fittings. Yeah, the jug's slightly different on the bottom, but literally feels the same. The cap, I'm actually missing the one that had the option to just have it slightly vented. This is just either in or out, and it's more plasticky. The rest of the budget has been blown on the box, which looks a bit more fancy actually. And I'm not losing my mind because about 6 months ago when I was first looking for the Pro, it was the same price of that, and I'm adamant it was advertised as a smart blender. In fact, if I wasn't originally looking for a smart blender, I would have gone for their third option, which is even cheaper, the Blender UK. Which ironically, as we might find out because I have got this ready for us, might just be the best version of all. All right, let's just turn this on. It will make a noise, it's very exciting. There you go, you get what you pay for. I've already set up the Wi-Fi, looked at the app. So that first preset does come up, jam, amazing. Then you've got smoothie, and that actually says 45 with an S after it. Can't believe it's gonna be 45 minutes. Fruit and vegetable juice, smooth soup, which I think is what we did the other day. The ingredients are exactly the same. So like we said, we're gonna do the chunky, which is milkshake. We tested that. Soy milk, yeah, we like that. That was good. But look, folks, here we go. It has a manual mode. Amazing. And I'm not even gonna test that. The only other thing worth noting is that this one, the base, is not ceramic, and it was so easy to clean. This is actually metal. All right, so we've got some water in there, and the mode after manual is press and hold to clean. So, what? Do I just have to do it like this? Oh my gosh, this smart version doesn't do a hot clean, and I actually really like that functionality. Right, so I'll wash this out manually with hot water, and now we'll try that soup. Mushrooms, potatoes, cashew nuts, salt, top with water. All right, down you go. So remember, this is the chunky soup. I really liked the creaminess from the other day with that soup that I hope was smooth. Will we be left with chunks? Let's find out. All right, so around 17 minutes left to go. I'm a little bit worried because there's been like no motor noise at all, unlike the other machine. But right now it just feels like a kettle that's got to a certain temperature and it's lightly poaching the ingredients. Ah, damn, I missed it. It just whizzed like a little, it did one spin. It might do it again in a minute, and that's just under the 6 minute stage. There we go. It only span like once. Oh, look how thin that is. Oh no! This time it smells much more like a mushroom soup. I had to really dig just to get some potato and a cashew there. Ooh, yeah, it's very different, but absolutely fine. And by chunky soup, I think we can conclude that it means broth. Let's hope by jam, it means, well, jam? For some reason, even though they're out of season, we got some of the largest strawberries ever in the supermarket. 300 grams of strawberries for our jam, and I like the fact that they're big like that, because we're gonna make this blender that hasn't really felt like a blender yet. Well, blend. And the juice of half a lemon. So when I normally make sugar, I add a little bit of water in. It's telling me not to do that. 30 minutes. Oh, hello. Yeah, for some context, this is my candy thermometer. And the jam stage, you would normally take it up to 105°, and I can see this is bubbling away. And we've still got 16 minutes, but the true texture will be once it's done and once it cools down. All right, it's done, and just like all the other hot settings on this blender and the other one, it will just sit on a keep warm mode. All I know is this is exceptionally hot. Oh, look at that. Yeah, this needs to seriously cool down, so we'll see at the end whether this was a success. So this is what really appealed to me about this smart blender. Of course, it's got the manual mode, so with that soup, we could have switched it back and done it, but you can actually add on more recipes. So I've connected it to the device. It needs to be on for it to know it's there, and then you can actually scroll through as I go here. Creamy mushroom soup, pineapple ice cream, lassi. Well, then you can see you've got things like Italian tomato sauce, Spanish gazpacho, and even a Mexican spicy beef. Well, sauce, I was thinking, oh wow, you've got the hot plate in there, you could cook the beef, that would be amazing. Ingredients are listed as I scroll down with the steps, you put it all in the blender, but then look, a frying pan appears. You guys know what I like. There is definitely a video in Will It Blender, but for me, it's sort of like, no, I want to put the beef mince in there and cook it through as well, and then add all the other ingredients. It could do that. Yeah, so down the bottom here, you can add it to your favorites or start cooking. In fact, in this machine, in the device at the moment, soy milk, as you can see here, is locked on, but you can add more recipes from the app on there, like ice cream and a red bean smoothie, chocolate smoothie, and this is a thing. I was kind of wanting like a bit more. Maybe I just wanted everything to go in there, and in a strange way, maybe it is the jam that is the best case of that so far. But I guess the good thing is with it having the app, it could eventually add those things on there, so you could actually transfer it to your machine via the app, like our soy milk. So actually, after everything I've been through, I really wanted to do like a bolognese or something, but I found a coffee frappuccino. I like a frappuccino. Yeah, it's got all the steps there and the ingredients. So if we add it to our favorites, and I go back to the device, there we go. Oh, right. Okay, so that just goes as your favorite recipes. It doesn't lock in at the top like the soy milk there. Okay, so yeah, it's just basically more of a bookmark then. Do you know what? I don't actually know how smart this thing really is. It just seems like a really confused blender. Yeah, so we haven't actually connected that yet, but in goes some espresso and some milk. I've got a tin of condensed milk. I'm getting a spoon of that in there. That is very cheeky. I guess you could just use sugar, but hey-ho. And then goes the ice cubes. All right, so if I go start cooking and it comes up, will complete in approximately 45 seconds. Press start. Oh my. All right, expected to complete at 12:39. Oh. Is it going to sync back? Yes! It just says cooking completed. Okay. You'd think it'd be like about to start, like a countdown, but no. Unlike the soup where it was so gentle, it's like, here we go. We got 45 seconds, let's frappuccino. Oh, that's a shame. On there, it doesn't list them. It just says cloud recipes. If they actually appeared on there, that would actually be pretty cool. Frappuccino, I guess. Don't normally have cream in mine, but it's telling me to add it. And maybe a little shimmy. Oh. Of coffee powder on top. There we go. That actually looks half decent. That is why I don't have cream. To be fair, now once I finally got to it, that is actually really, really nice. It's super cold, 45 seconds, instant blast from the app, the communication with the Wi-Fi. It might have gone all the way around the world and then hit the machine, but boom, straight away you saw that. I'm sure there are probably more expensive blenders that actually do that, and I think that is my conclusion with this. If I was in the market for a smart blender, I have to be honest, the technology of it, the power, the functionality, it seems like a really, really good base machine. Understandably though, globally it's had like an Eastern reference for the descriptions and the recipes. That's absolutely perfectly fine. Pro was extremely restrictive. I missed the manual mode, but we did do a hot chocolate. That was gorgeous. And this has achieved in its own way. It kind of stubborn. It does its own thing. The chunky soup broth. But it was still chunky. But with a few tweaks to the app and maybe the firmware, that could actually be insane. This for me, for an extra £10, offers so much more, but I think with it, potential. It has got the potential to be so much better with better recipes, more updates as they come, and maybe I'll revisit again if that does happen, but I think for me, I'll just stick to a normal blender. All right, so this is it down to room temperature and actually quite cold. In fact, I think I can pour it out. So it's not really got to the temperature to really set it. It's nice though, but I think I'll stick to a saucepan.